Hello everyone, I'm AnimusJ and welcome to another Minecraft video. Today we are back on JWorld again, and in the last episode we finished up all of the registration. So we get our little decontamination bath, we have our registration panels, we have the biometrics for eye scans, fingerprints, and picture taking, and then we come around here, we get our basic medical assessment. You lay on the bench, you get scanned by 800 things while our doctors stay safely, or x-ray techs, whatever you want to call them, stay safely behind their decontamination and x-ray etc. proof walls, right? And then we come over here where anybody who has additional medical problems will get treated with potions and they will get scanned for additional problems. And then we also have the, what is this called? Jail cell, basically, but it's a confinement jail cell, or rather a quarantine jail cell, so that anybody who's being unruly but is also contaminated can stay in there. And then we have several quarantine cells just for people who are just normal, happy people who unfortunately got sick. And then we got our bulletin board. And I forgot to mention this, but it's just the desk. That's all it is. It's like the nurse's desk, so they can monitor everything that's going on. Now, moving on to today's video, what I would like to do involves these two chests, the redstone chest and this chest full of grass, because in the last episode I pointed out that all of our sheep had died. Yeah. I don't even know how it happened. They're just all dead. I mean, I know how some of them died, but I don't know how they all died. So what we're going to work on today is two things. Number one, we're going to work on entrances, and that's because I don't actually even have an entrance to the underside of the Skylands. My little water thingy right here, it only goes up. Yeah, so that's sort of problematic. So we're going to move that. The other thing is that anytime I come in from like those two entrances, that one and that one, I always just break in through the glass. Yeah, so we're gonna make a secret staff entrance right here, I think is the best place to do it. However, I do have to figure out a nice way to decorate it. So I think what I'm gonna do is come up with some redstone first, and then probably what we'll do is put a little cyan thingy right here with, I don't know, some kind of staff only kind of a deal. It's been raining for a little while. Is it actually nighttime yet? So here we are in my testing world, and yeah, it's a mess, guys. It's literally where I come just to sort things out and then put it into a nicer world for my tutorial videos. So don't make fun of my testing world. You need to have a world like this where it's just chaos, unorganized chaos. All right, this is a double piston extender design by Rogue Fox. It's 2 years old actually, but it works wonderfully. It works great. Problem is, I would like it to be smaller, and the floor level for it is here, right? Yes, that is the floor level. Because imagine in the Skylands, okay, that here is the cyan wall, here is the glass block above it, okay? So then we would leave it activated like this. Oh, so this is the floor level then, right here. And then that has to stay there. Okay, and then we retract it. Yeah, okay, like that. Except it's gonna be slime blocks. I'll have slime blocks to pull them both down. All right, so the glass block would end up right there, allowing us to pass through, and then we turn it back on, and that closes it up. So this is good, and it's very stable. I just don't like that it's so wide. I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. We could definitely hide it. I just thought I could figure out something better, and I did actually. So I worked out this, which is nice because it's a little bit smaller, and it works most of the time. See, there's times where it doesn't. It just doesn't want to. It'll work sometimes and not other times. And the reason for that is because of bedrock redstone. It's very inconsistent in the timing. All right, and I can demonstrate that to you using this. Sorry about that big zoom right there. So all we have is a repeater going into a block with redstone on top. Now watch, if I flip this lever, we power the top one. If I flip it again, top, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom. See, redstone in bedrock cannot make its mind up where its priority is. So I guess we're going to be going with the design by Rogue Fox. Here we are back on JWorld, and I have it installed, but we have one major problem. Minor problem? I don't know, we'll have to sort it out. We'll change those blocks, the dirt blocks, so you can't see them, of course, but we have issues with the slime blocks. So if I activate the door, you can see it closes up quite nicely, except for this block right here. This block right here has to stay empty, because if it doesn't, it's going to break the pumpkin, and the pumpkin is unfortunately necessary for the redstone to work, because this pumpkin block is powering the bottom piston. So yeah, that's kind of a problem. We're going to have to basically decorate around that. So what we can do, we can put the white concrete there, and then I mean, we're gonna have to do something. Oh shoot, I just blocked up the hole we can't block up. We're gonna have to do something like this. What can we do? Something like this maybe? Yeah, I guess we can do that. We could do that, all right. And then now the last thing, I guess we could make it match on both sides. Okay, that's not half bad. That's not half bad. It actually adds to it a little bit. We could even do sea lanterns there. Maybe, might be a bit much, I think. All right, so then the last thing that I need to do is just hook up the redstone so we have a switch on the outside and an actual switch on the inside. It's good. I've officially called it good. So I moved the location of my delay circuit, and you can see we have actually plenty of time now in order to get through from both sides. Plenty of time, almost too much time. And the way that I did that, if I can guess where, that wasn't it. This was where I was trying to get to. So what I did is when you push the button on the outside, all it does is it sends a redstone signal around to here. When you press the button on the inside, it sends a redstone signal right here. Basically, guys, this is an OR gate, right? If this button or this button is pressed, then it will turn off this torch. The reason we have the torch here is to keep the pistons constantly up, because we want our door constantly closed, right? And then what we have here is just a delay circuit, okay? So these comparators, these are facing all this way, and then they wrap around and face all this way. And what that does is it just keeps your redstone on for quite a bit longer. So it keeps this redstone on, it keeps this redstone torch off, which keeps the pistons retracted for quite a while. And that's all that there is to it. Anyways, this is all done. The next thing that we need to do is we do need to replace this, actually. So that is going to be one of these fancy quartz blocks. Where is it? I know I have one. Okay, so that's going to be this guy, and then what we'll do is we'll put a sign saying staff only or something like that, something along those lines. So the next step is to close this up right here and make an entrance down into below, which we had discussed doing right here. But given the current redstone situation that we had to do in order to make this one over here, I think I may have to rethink that. Oh, actually, you know what? This is the perfect spot, because look at all this space. Look at all this space that we have. So I think we're going to make the entrance to the below be right here. On second thought, we are going to use our existing water elevator, and that's because I came up with a kind of cool way to do it. So if you look, here's the existing water elevator. Now we still have pumpkin blocks, and we're going to have pumpkins for a while until we can find terracotta. Maybe we'll try and do that this episode, maybe not. But this is a half slab right here, and what I did is I waterlogged it. That way, when you push and pull it, it pulls and pushes the water with it, recreating the water source. That way we can always get back up to the top, rather than there being a full block here, which would then of course destroy the water source and leave us trapped inside. So the next thing we need to do is just create the water elevator going up and down, just like we did for all of those. But the first thing is I'm constantly out of water up here, and I don't have any water sources up here. So I thought what we could do is create a very fancy infinite water source right here. So first thing, let's get rid of this ugly block right there. Now there's a very specific order that this has to be done in, okay? So I'm going to close this off right here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a block there. All right, now I'm going to put my sea lantern there, the water there. Okay, the water's gonna flow into the hole because that's the quickest route. Now I break this block, we put down our cauldron, and that makes it so that putting down the cauldron does not update the water to come all the way out here because it found a new direction to travel right there. Then what we can do is we can put our sea lantern back right there. It will not update again. And then what we can do lastly is grab our quartz stair and boop, just like that. And there we have it. Now what we can do is we can infinitely pull water from this cauldron. Maybe not. What? Why does this not work? Plan B is slightly less fancy. It just involves a dispenser facing straight down with a button on it and a bucket of water inside. We press the button, it's going to fill that up, and then we can press the button, turn it off, take the water, and then press the button again in order to refill it. And as you can see, it does refill infinitely. So yes, slightly less fancy, but hey, it works, right? Now we have water. And that water was everything we needed in order to finish our elevator. So you can see this thing is all closed up. And what I did is I put a furnace in each of these locations. This one is actually the key furnace. This one is just to make it all matchy. I tried to make this the key furnace, but yeah, we're dealing with so many things in one spot. I can't break any blocks because the water's right behind here. And then we have the pistons, the water elevator. It's a mess, guys. So all I gotta do is put any old random object inside of here. You can see that that opens up our water elevator. I take my item back, I hop in, and there we go. I also have the redstone all in place to be able to send us back up to the top whenever we need to go there. Now then, getting on to the subject of what I actually wanted to do today, and the reason we needed to be down inside of here in the first place, is this. And that is a sheep farm. Well, right now it's a grass farm, technically speaking, but it's going to be a sheep farm. So this design is by Azumavoid, and I believe it was his Hermitcraft 6 sheep farm. I'm not really sure. Anyways, you can check out Azumavoid's video on how to do this. I thought it was the most efficient and best way of doing what it is that we want to be doing. And so I've left it halfway open here in order to show you exactly what's going on. So we have this bottom layer of grass, and then up here, so but below this there's nothing, right? And then what I'm going to do now is finish off this layer of glass. And the reason that we're alternating, and my computer feels very glitchy. Oh, speaking of which, guys, if the audio sounds different, it is because I have installed a few audio panels inside of my office. And I also relocated the microphone. So if things sound a bit different to you, it's probably one of those two things. And just bear with me while I balance everything out. Anyways, so what I've done now is we have alternating layers, 3 alternating layers to be total right now. And what it's going to do is anytime one of the blocks turns into a dirt block. So for example, if I turn this one into a dirt block, now this one has 1, 2, 3, and 4 grass blocks refeeding back into it, okay? So we have tons and tons of blocks feeding back into this one in order to turn it back into grass, hopefully very soon, because all of our sheep are going to be walking along this path right here that I am currently on. And we're even going to add one more layer above these so that it's got even more contributing to it as well. And then what will happen is that we'll have an automatic shearing station, I think here and here. I'm not sure, I haven't finished out the tutorial yet, but this is what we're doing. So I'm gonna stop rambling and I'm gonna get to it. I was just checking back in to give you guys a progress report, and I realized that our second deck up here was very dark and a mob farm. There were creepers and skeletons, and the skeleton granted us a music disc by killing a creeper on our behalf. So I think that this music disc right here is going to be the official music of the Skylands. We're gonna have to see what it sounds like here in a little bit, so I'm gonna put that, actually, you know what, I'll put it in my end chest. That way we can keep it safe. But let's go on down here and I'll show you guys where we're at. I do have to be a little faster with this elevator because I got stuck inside the pumpkins one time. Okay, there it is. There we go. So if I just finish placing in these bits of glass right here, Then boop, there we go. Okay, so then now what we have is we have those dispensers right there will be full of shears. And if I can just, yeah, let's do that. Okay, here we go. So we'll load this chest up with shears, and we can even enchant them with unbreaking, and that'll help them last a whole lot longer. And then we have the dispensers, and then the way the water is flowing is the sheep are going to go around this way, that way, that way, this way, that way, this way, back around again. And they're just going to constantly go in circles, eating the grass as they go, growing their wool back, and then getting sheared every time they reach both here and here. And then we have hoppers right here and right here that will collect up the wool when the sheep does get sheared. And then what we can do is load them up with either certain colors or just a variety of colors so that we have a backstock. I think in the beginning what we'll do is just do the colors we need, and then as we start to get past the point of need into the point of backstock, then we'll just do a whole rainbow. So then the next step in this is going to be actually getting the sheep in, and I'm trying to figure out the easiest way to do that. What we're going to do is we're going to build another portal, and I guess the easiest thing to do is to just build it right here, break this glass, and then push them on into right here. So I'll get that done. I'll get a couple of sheep. There's only going to be a handful, and we're just going to have to breed them up from in here. And just like that, we have our sheep. Well, we have a couple of sheep, but the thing is, we're going to fill up this entire thing, actually. So what I may end up doing is I may end up just taking out the water for now, because the water creates problems in the breeding. They jump around enough as it is. But I'm just going to spend some time breeding these guys up and getting lots and lots of babies to populate this. And as you can see, I'm starting off with mostly, or with entirely actually at the moment, light gray. And I'm realizing this is the last of my wheat actually, so I do need to make a farm. What I may do is spend a little bit of time over at the AFK OP fish farm that we built in the beginning, which I'm just realizing still looks like garbage, but it serves its purpose, right? Anyways, I may spend a bunch of time there to get a bunch of bones and just make like a micro wheat farm. I do have a video on how to do that, by the way, on the channel. But I'm going to spend my time working this up, guys, and then in the next video on JWorld, I will show you the results and how we're doing. That is going to conclude today's video. However, I thank you so very much for watching. If you're new, make sure to subscribe. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that like button. I'm AnimusJ. I'll see you in the next video.